Okay.
Okay, you're in broadcast
All right.
mode.
Okay, cool. Now we got here attendees, they are coming in. So, so far 6 people. Do you see the attendees?
No, I don't right now. Probably.
Okay.
Oh, there it is. Participant 6. Yes, I do see it.
Yeah. 9 now. Yeah. So we don't have to admit them. They're coming in.
11.
Yeah.
So by the way, I think we're on broadcast mode, Akbar, so people are hearing us chit chat between
That's
ourselves,
okay.
which is fine.
Good
Good afternoon,
natural.
everybody.
So I'm gonna let more people come in. When we get about 25 or so, then I would pretty much go fully live. So we've got 13 right now as people are coming in. So I want to grab my coffee too. You're at 15. So you see the numbers, Rich?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, awesome. Let me grab my questions and stuff. Errol, I can't hear you. It is recording already. All right, you're at 16. Rich, I'm going to get, as I said, I'm going to let it go to about 20, 25, then we'll start. So,
Okay.
we are at 16 still.
So all the people just finishing their lunch and trying to get to the webinar.
What time is your next webinar coming up?
Oh, we have
Rich?
time.
Okay.
My next one, I think, is 3 o'clock. So
3 o'clock.
I've got time. Not to. You just
All right.
actually double check there.
Hmm.
Yeah, next one's at 3, so I'm good.
All right. So we got about 20 attendees right now online. As I said, it's about 89 registrants that they registered for the webinar. I wanted to welcome everybody to our today's webinar. I'd like to introduce you to Rich. Rich, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, and then I'm going to go ahead after Rich introducing himself to go over some of the rules as how we're going to start this. So I hope everybody listening and can hear us clearly. So let me see, there is a message. Hello, 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 Rich. Hello, Arvinder. Hello, Vicky. So yes, I've got about 22 people. Rich, go ahead, please. Introduce yourself. Who are you? What do you do? How long you been around real estate people? And then
Sure.
from there, we'll do some housekeeping rules, and then we'll go from there. So go ahead, Rich.
So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rich Gossenbeek. I'm one of the co-founders of Exact Contact Solutions, Inc. We're a Toronto-based real estate CRM and marketing automation company. And my role within Exact Contact is I'm one of the 3 sort of co-founders in the firm, and I'm responsible for everything to do with marketing, sales, business development, and that sort of thing. Exact Contact, we're in our 11th year, so that's been my passion and my all-consuming passion for the last 11 years. Prior to that, I spent my entire career basically in the technology industry, starting in 1983. So I'll let you do the math. And I've had various sales roles, channel partner roles, marketing, business development for different industries. And then as of about 11, 12 years ago, I sort of got involved with building Exact Contact and have really become very passionate about the real estate industry. And I've always been passionate about CRM, about good contact management, keeping in touch with people is part of what made me successful in my career back in the, in the 80s and 90s with ACT and Goldmine. Today it's a whole new game, and I'm helping realtors and brokerages to build their business by, putting good contact management and contact marketing principles, to work in their business. And that is kind of my passion and what I do.
Awesome. It's I appreciate you attending this webinar and joining us and helping our agent to grow their business. Let's start by doing some housekeeping. Number one is that on the bottom, I hope everybody can hear us. So if you everybody look at bottom of your screen there is a Q&A. So what we're going to do is everybody's muted right now except Rich and I that we are doing the webinar rather. And if you have any question at any time, feel free, just click that Q&A icon right on the bottom there and ask question. Now I see also that there is a chat icon. So for that, you don't need to put in chat. Your question should be on a Q&A. Then Rich and I will take it at the end of this webinar. So the webinar is going to last about, I would say, 30 to 45 minutes. So I'm sure you guys are all anxious to finish the webinar and go back to work and apply some of those things that we're going to share with you to your business. So having said that, so we're going to open up with Rich going to share some ideas as why we're doing this seminar. So the reason why we're doing this seminar, number one reason is to help you grow your business. At the end, when Rich finishes, then I'm going to cover about 5 to 10 tips as what you need to do to be successful realtor. And that's to do with the CRM and other stuff that I will be sharing with you shortly. So Rich, take it away.
All right. Thank you, Akbar. So yeah, I have some sort of tips and advice to share with you. As I think Akbar sort of alluded, this is not a product demo. So I work for Exact Contact. We are a CRM software company, but I'm not going to show you any CRM today. We're going to talk ideas, best practices, principles, that sort of thing. So let me share my screen here. I do have a few PowerPoint slides. Just give me a second. Sorry, first thing I should do is share screen, and then I have to find the right screen. We'll assume it's this one. Share. Akbar, let me know. Can you see my
yes, I do.
Screen okay?
Yes, I can. You look good-looking gentleman right there.
Yeah, that's me. There we go. And there's my contact info. If anybody wants to reach out to me directly after the webinar, I can make these slides available, by the way, if folks want them. It's not a bad idea. I actually did, usually slides are meant to be high level. I actually put some detail into them, thinking that if people want them, it's like a transcript of the webinar. But if you just want my contact info, Akbar can pass that on to you. So our topic today is what you need to do now to be ready to come back strong. And I'm going to give you some ideas from my perspective. You have to keep in mind, I'm the Chief Revenue Officer of Exact Contact. I think I've got some good advice to share with you. Akbar will be coming at it from a whole different perspective. He's the broker owner of Kingsway Real Estate, and I'm sure he'll have a lot of interesting things to say as well. And hopefully the advice that you get from me and from him support, it jives.
Appreciate it.
All
Thank
right.
you.
5 things you need to do now to be ready to come back strong. These are the 5 things I'm going to talk about. I've kind of got a slide for each one. Number 1, organize your contact data. So kind of, you've been meaning to do it for years. You can never quite get to it. Certainly not in the middle of what should be a crazy spring market, right? Now's the time. Point number 2, set up automated keep-in-touch processes. Point number 3, build a professional online presence. Point number 4, connect with people. Connect with everyone, especially on your A-list. And then last point number 5, work on yourself and your readiness for when the business comes back, and it's going to come back. And there's a lot of indicators that says when it comes back, it could come back with a real surge. So you need to be ready. You need to be physically and mentally ready for what could become, if you think about it, real estate's very different from, say, a restaurant or, a hotel. If you're, we're all being impacted by COVID. There's no doubt about that. But if you're running a restaurant and you're shut down for 2 months, those meals don't come back. All those, dinners you didn't get to serve, they don't come back, they're gone. But in real estate, people who, have a need to buy a home or sell a home, and all of a sudden they can't do it through second half of March, through April, through possibly part of May, or they choose not to do it just because it's more complicated. Then the fundamental need to move has not gone away. It's just been postponed. So in a sense, like there's this pent-up demand that's building and it's going to come back. So those are the 5 basic things I want to talk about. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail. So suggestion number 1, so that things you can do now so that you're in super good shape to come back strong when the market comes back. So as I say, first thing to do is organize your contact data. A lot of realtors have data scattered, like I used to say 3 or 4 different places. I've talked to realtors that have, I said, where's your contact data today? And they said, well, I've got a website and some of it's in there because it gets captured, through my lead capture, but it sort of stays there. Then I've got other data in the MLS and I got some contact data in my Outlook. And then there's my Google contacts. And I got a little Excel spreadsheet I created, 6 years ago, and I got some contact data there. So they've got their contact data all over the place, and it hurts their business. They waste untold hours trying to find contact data. Often they can't find it, or they got the same contact in 3 places, which is the right data, which is the most up-to-date phone number. So, step number 1, you're stuck at home, you're looking for ways to work on your business, you're long past the point of, Netflix exhaustion. If you're looking for ways to work on your business, there's no better place to start than getting all your contact data organized. Get it together, get it into one single database. So if you don't, and that database, by the way, it is called CRM. And what you want is a real estate CRM. So if you don't have one today, maybe you've always thought about getting one. Your broker probably told you should have one, your coach, your trainer, but you could never get to it. There's no excuse now. Get a CRM. If you don't like the one you have, you got, I don't know, we won't name names, but I might say top producer, 12 years ago, and you never really did get comfortable with it. It's become like a contact data refrigerator where your contacts go just to get cold. Get a new one, right? Get a new one. So, and then once you put it all together and upload it into a single database, then of course the next step, and most good real estate CRMs can do this, you want to synchronize that data with your Gmail, using Google Sync. So you're syncing to your Google Contacts and your Google Calendar, your Outlook. If you're a Mac fanatic, you can sync to your Mac iCal and address book, or sync right to your mobile, to the address book and the calendar built into your mobile phone. So now you've got basically one database. So if you make a change anywhere, you add a contact to your Outlook, bam, it's in your exact contact. Add a contact or change some data or add a calendar appointment in Outlook, bam, it's in your Google, in your Gmail. And that's the idea. So that's step number 1. Get your data together and then get it organized. And this is sort of a bit of an advanced tip, but once you get your data in one place and you've cleaned it up, make sure you take care of the duplications, and the software can help you with that. Then you want to sort of categorize it and organize it. So, not all contacts are equal. You've got in there a mix of past clients, current clients, hot prospects, long-term prospects. You want to be able to categorize those properly so you can work with them. But another level of categorization is really related not so much to your sales funnel or your business pipeline, but it's related to your relationship, how you know people, your affinity. And for that, you want to look at your database and say, are there other ways I might want to group my data? I'm going to talk about this a little bit later, but one of the simplest things you can do, like if you do nothing else in terms of trying to categorize your contacts, a great starting point is what's called the Pareto Principle, or as you probably know it, the 80-20 rule. And the 80-20 rule states that, and by the way, it applies to almost everything in life, but in real estate, what it comes down to is of the contacts in your database, and it doesn't matter really how many you have. I don't care if you have 100 contacts, 340, or 1,220. In all likelihood, roughly 20% of your contacts will drive 80% of your business over the course of your career. And the other 80% of your contacts will drive 20%. Now, of course, the goal over your career is to continue to build relationships. And by the way, you can call that the A-list and B-list. So that top 20% is your A-list, the other 80% is your B-list. So your goal, of course, is to build relationships and awareness and preference with the B-list so that one by one, they become A-list kind of contacts, and then to grow your sphere overall. So you grow your B-list people move up to A-list, and the net result is you're constantly growing your database, or you'll hear this phrase in the industry, your sphere of influence, right? And that's probably the key point I want to make. Akbar, did you want me to pause as I'm going through these, just give you a chance to comment, or do you want me to go through all sort of 5 recommendations and then discuss them at the end?
Yes, I can comment on it. So first of all, as most of you audience here, you know, I've been in business over 32 years. So I'm the first one, Rich, to put my hands up and say, guilty. Guilty of what? Guilty of not doing all those things that you're saying is apply, I would say, to 95% of us realtors. That we have our contact, our leads written on a piece of napkins, on a notebook, on our cell phone note, then we change our phone and the lead doesn't transfer to the new phone, a new phone that we got. So I'm one of the guilty ones that I have to say, over 30 years that I've been selling 200-300 homes a year, here we are, you know, I'm guilty that we're not doing the right thing. Can you just imagine the past clients, the center of influence, and those people that you can put in a CRM and use it. Now, on the other hand, Rich, you mentioned something that it's really, really hit me hard. Now, some people, they do have. I am one of them that in 1991, I got top producer. I don't know if some of you have been around those little floppy disks. It was like 12 of them that you had to kind of push it in your computer and download it. Those little tiny floppy disks. Some of you, you don't know what the floppy disk is actually, right? So, and then you get to a CRM that's so complicated that time, and they add more features and so on, that you get so tired of it that you don't want to touch it. So, and you're not using it. You got a CRM, but you're not using it. I know some people, they have it, Rich, that they have not put even one client in there. What's the point of having a CRM if you're not going to utilize it? So today,
no point at
we
all.
are here, and no time would be better than now. You agree, Rich, that we could get on right now every day, spend 2-3 hours, just if you don't do nothing, put the Netflix aside, spend 2 hours and start watching one movie, cut one movie down, and start putting your time on in your business and improve your business, and start loading up those contacts. Everybody, I tell everybody, take your cell phone, Rich. Just, those are contacts. Those are people that you talk to, your friends, your relative, your center of influence, the mortgage broker, the lawyer that you are working. Organize them and go forward. So I'll let you do it. So because I got a lot to say at the end, so I don't want to interrupt you. So please go to your presentation. Sure.
I will, but just before I go to the next slide, I wanted to comment on one thing you said, that you got a CRM and it was so overwhelming and it was so complicated. One of the things that has changed, there is a sort of a new generation of real estate CRMs out there now. Exact Contact is one of them, and for reasons I can't really explain, CRMs used to be very complicated, overwhelming kind of beasts, and that would really intimidate a lot of realtors.
I'm in a contract with one of the largest, one of the most sophisticated CRM system. Actually, they are from the state, and they are very expensive. I mean, highly, I'm saying that it costs so much money, and yet it's so complicated. And then when I'm looking at the CRM that we are offering here, it's so easy flowing, easy to use. It's so simple, yet offers the same thing that basically those big names or the costly CRMs. I've been using Top Producer. I'm going to mention some of them. Boomtown, that some of you have never heard of it, but it says a huge, or KV Core, which is a national companies, they are using it and so on. And I've been using them. And I tell you, Rich, it's very complicated. But what we have that switched over to a contact manager here, this new CRM, so happy. We should have done years ago,
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I saved a lot of money.
That's my fault. That's my fault, Akbar. I should have reached out to you. But
for
yeah,
sure.
so and I'm trying to avoid pushing exact contact too much. So I'm going to talk more in generalities. But yeah,
Sure, please.
we're a new breed of CRM that it's actually it's a very simple interface. It's intuitive, it's elegant, and within about 30 seconds or a minute, you understand how it works. And that's kind of one of the things changed. So Akbar, if you don't mind, I'm going to keep moving forward.
Go
here.
ahead, please. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Oh yeah, sorry. This was just a great. So this topic was, hey, there's never been a better time than right now to get down to brass tacks. Imagine normally on May 8th in Toronto or Southern Ontario or anywhere in North America, it's the middle of the spring market, and for a lot of years we've had some pretty good spring markets. It's the last thing you'd have time to look at, but you've got the time now. And as Akbar said, take 2 hours a day, put aside one Netflix movie, you'll crush it. It's not that hard. You'll make huge progress. Yeah. This is just a little thing I found off Twitter from Robert Refkin. You guys probably never heard of him, but he's the CEO and founder of Compass. Compass, I don't really think is any factor in Canada. I don't even know if they're working in Canada yet, but they're a startup in the U.S., a kind of a quote unquote a disruptor, they're called in the U.S., and they've got venture capital backing. So they've come out of nowhere and become a major force in real estate in the U.S. And this is the guy who's the co-founder, and they're known for their advanced use of technology and other things. Anyway, this was his comment. Robert Refkin, it was back on March 25th when COVID was just getting serious, right? What's the number one thing real estate agents can do right now to get ready for the rebound? Set up their CRM to stay front of mind with their sphere of influence. And that is the perfect bridge between point one, which was, hey, get your contact data, uploaded to a CRM and get it organized, and point number two, which is set up automated keep in touch processes. So you've got to do number one to get to number two. Number one is getting the data uploaded, deduped, properly categorized. But now it's still just a database. What a good sort of real estate CRM like Exact Contact can do is really this point, which is now let's take it to another whole level. It's not just a database. Again, this next generation of CRMs is almost like your personal marketing assistant. So if you just have your contacts well organized, that's a huge step forward than the chaos that your contact data may be in. But you can do so much more. You can achieve so much more. So the next step is to use your CRM to keep in touch and stay top of mind with everybody in your database. And of course, if you don't do it, you will not get referrals and repeat business. Or a more positive way to put it, hey, by keeping in touch and staying top of mind, you will get that business. I want to share with you a little bit of data from NAR. Some of you may have heard this before, but to me, I don't care if you've heard it before, it always bears repeating.
Right.
National Association.
Sorry, Rich. I just got a message that someone said that they cannot hear you. So I just sent a text. Can everybody hear me? It seems like they couldn't hear you for a second. So
Akbar, Akbar, if you can still hear me, everybody else can.
That's what I'm saying. It must be on their end. So
yeah,
we can't hear both of you. Okay, continue. Sorry, because somebody just messaged me that they couldn't hear you. Whoever you are, I know who you are actually. You typed in here, Glenn. It has to be from your end. Sorry about that, Rich. So I wanted to make sure that they can hear us. Yeah, go ahead.
I'll just two suggestions if you're having trouble with the audio. One is if you're using your speakers on your computer, check your volume. Make sure that you don't have, turn up your speaker volume. If that's still not working or whatever, like I have a second monitor, and sometimes if I got the second monitor plugged in, it messes with my microphone and speakers. The other thing to do in your Zoom invite, you can, or phone numbers, dial in using your phone. It's a better connection anyway. So, so let me keep going. So, the National Association of Realtors. So every year they do a big study and they publish the results. And one of the questions they ask in that study, they survey consumers and they ask them, how happy were you, if you did a real estate transaction in the past year, how satisfied were you with the services provided by your realtor? And 85%, almost year in and year out, say that they are satisfied or very satisfied with the work their realtor did and would refer that realtor and use them again the next time around. 85%. And yet when consumers are asked, when the next transaction happens, this could be 3 years later, 5 years, 8 years, did you use the same realtor you used on your previous real estate transaction? Only roughly 15 to 20% say yes. So 85% said they would, and 15 to 20% actually did. So that raises the question, what happened? Why is that? And the answer is that people couldn't remember their realtor's name.
Wow.
Well, whose fault is that? Do we get mad at the client? How could he forget about me? I did such a great job for him 7 years ago. Of course not. The realtor, the real estate sales professional, failed to keep in touch, failed to stay top of mind, and the person forgot their name. What a senseless way to lose business. Sorry, I was watching Billions last night on TV. What a senseless way to lose business. And we're not talking small business. What's the average sale price in Toronto? Or, you know, it used to be, I don't know, $850,000, $900,000 bucks. You're getting, you know, 2.5% of that. I can't even do the math. I don't know,
20, 25 grand. Yeah.
Exactly. For one missed referral or more importantly, repeat transaction that should have come to you.
Yeah.
So you need to automate. But here's what happens is everyone has the best of intentions. We all do. So I'll be on top of it. I'll call people all the time. I'll go for lunches and so on. But then you get busy. And when you get busy, when you're crushing it with buyers and sellers, the first thing that falls away, that falls right into the garbage can, is all your keep in touch activity. So my recommendation here is take advantage of the keep in touch automation that's built into sort of a next gen CRM like Exact Contact, and recapture all that lost income, potentially tens or even, this is not an exaggeration, even hundreds of thousands of dollars a year that should be coming your way because you do a good job on the transaction. You know, your clients were pleased as punch when you help them buy a home or sell a home, but they don't come back because you don't keep in touch. So some of the kind of keep in touch automation ideas are things like letting the system tell you every day, using sort of what we call an intelligent keep in touch coach, who you need to call. Now, still up to you, or just make contact. It doesn't have to be a call. You can pick up the phone, send a text message, send a handwritten note, whatever you want, but keep in touch, right? Let the system tell you whenever there's one of your contacts or their spouses, partners, has a birthday, or let the system tell you every time you've got to keep in touch, a move-in anniversary, which I think of all these sort of opportunities to keep in touch with a past client, for instance, to me, the move-in anniversary is gold because it's business relevant. You know, if you call in and I say, hey, Akbar, it's Rich calling. Listen, I just noticed it's 4 years ago today that you moved into, 17 Rose Hill Avenue. And I just want to give you a call. And are you still enjoying the home? And hopefully Akbar says, yes, we love it. And then I say, terrific. I'm so glad to hear that. I just wanted to let you know that, I really appreciated you choosing me as your realtor 4 years ago. It was a real pleasure to work with you and Sandra. And, I was thinking of you today. I wanted to let you know. And of course, should you ever need further help, any real estate interest, or you have friends or family, would really be very appreciative of a referral. Now, look what just happened in that little 30-second call. First of all, I showed gratitude. Right off the bat, thank you, Akbar. I really appreciate that you chose me. It was an honor, blah, blah, blah. But secondly, I'm connecting in Akbar's mind that, oh yeah, I love 17 Rose Hill Drive. I'm here because Rich found it for me and helped me to buy it. I reminded him of the great service I provided, but in a very elegant, sort of, natural way. And I just went to top of mind and top of preference. And then when I even got to the referral request moment, I hate those emails. You can tell who's doing Buffini coaching. And by the way, I'm not slagging Buffini. I think his coaching has a lot to be said for it. But one of the things he tells people is to put in in your email signature at the bottom of every email, I'm never too busy for your referrals. It's kind of kitschy to me. And, every realtor hates the thought of those awkward conversations where you're just calling people to troll for referrals. Hi, Akbar, it's Rich. We haven't spoken in 9 months. How are things? Good. Just wondering, do you know anybody you could refer me to? That's not a pleasant conversation. That sours relationships. But when you call someone on their move-in anniversary, it's a very natural. When I got to that point of, hey, listen, glad to hear you're still loving the home. You and Sandra are doing well. it was very natural. So I drilled down on that a bit because I believe, talking to thousands of realtors, that move-in anniversaries, they're so simple, but they're an untapped gold mine for most realtors. And
if I can jump in, Reg, there's so many reasons. The 6 touch that they talking about in real estate, as far as the past clients or center of influence goes, we got so many reasons. So especially with past clients, as you say, so important. Moving, the anniversary of moving date or the closing date is one of the crucial part that you need to, if you don't call them at all, once a year, at least you owe it to yourself to do that. That's number one. Number two, like Christmas time, birthday, the husband or spouse, their children birthdays and stuff like that. Something that it touches their heart and it earns you the respect. So we're gonna go over those things, those reasons as far as the CRM goes later on. But what can they do today? As you said, just load up the CRM with the contacts, right? So we got a few questions that people are texting me on my cell phone. I want to get to all the questions. Sorry, Rich. I want everybody that has questions, if you put it on Q&A, Rich can see those questions, also can answer it rather than texting me, actually. So they are texting me the questions. So I have a few questions down there, so I want to get to answer those questions too. Second thing, Rich, you want to mention about that monthly newsletter. That's so awesome. So awesome to keep in touch with them with the market situation, with market updates and so on. I can't put a dollar value on it, how much that really, really can help you, honestly.
Absolutely. It's a professional reach out to all the people in your database.
I agree.
And it's reminds them that you're the authority in sort of all things, real estate and home related. And it's automated. Like, that's the beautiful thing. You're busy working with buyers and sellers, and this newsletter once a month is reaching out and tapping people on the shoulder in a professional way with valuable content and information, and that helps you stay top of mind. For your leads, hot leads, everybody knows what to do with. Every realtor I've ever talked to knows what to do with a red hot lead. What they struggle with is longer term prospects. The young couple about to start a family, they're going to buy a home, but not right now. It's maybe a year out or 2 years out. And the system can nurture those leads for you, so you stay top of mind. And then when they are ready, whether it's 10 months out or 13 months out, you're the one they think of calling because you stayed in touch in social media. So Akbar, I just looked at the time. I'm running way behind. So I'm going to speed up. And I'm going to suggest we hold the questions because I do want to get to the end. But I'm sorry, I have been rambling a bit. So I'm going to start to power here. Suggestion number 3, create a professional online presence. So I get a lot of puzzled looks from realtors when I talk about this. And here's the thing. So, recommendation number 1, if you don't have your own agent website, create one now. If you have a website, but you built it, 12 years ago, and it's old and crotchety or kind of ugly, then get a new one. You're stuck at home. Do it. You got the time to work on it. So the thing to realize is, why should you care? It's because your agent website is your online brochure that defines your brand, right? It builds your brand. So a lot of realtors say, I've got a brochure, or sorry, I've got a website. I say, oh, really? Show me. They show me, and it's their agent page within their brokerage website. And that's fine. It's good to have an agent page in your brokerage website. But your agent page basically is the same as the other, 83 agents at that brokerage. The idea of an agent website is this is where you build your own brand. It's, richsellsmarkhamhomes.com. It's my own URL, my own domain. And here's the thing what a lot of realtors don't realize. If somebody refers me, let's say my brother refers me to his best friend. My brother refers me to his best friend. Before that best friend picks up the phone and calls me, the first thing he's going to do, he's actually going to go Google Rich Gossenbeek Real Estate and just have a look. And that first impression is incredibly important. If I have no website, or they can't find me, or it's hard to find me, or they find an old ugly website, that delivers a message. But if they find me right away and they go to a website and it looks modern and fresh and elegant and professional, informative, that's my brand. I just told them, I'm for real. I'm one of the winners in this business. I'm a professional. So that's why it's so important. Similarly, on social media, a lot of realtors struggle. You know, you go to any conference and you're pounded over the head. You need to be a social media expert. You should be marketing on social media all day long. And yes, social media is important, but it's very hard to do it all on your own. I do think that realtors should, if you have any inclination at all, you know, talk about the stuff you're comfortable with. What's going on in your neighborhood? You know, if we're ever allowed to get out of our homes, you know, you post about the Rib Fest that's happening in your local park this weekend, or the fair, or the new condo development that was just approved. Talk about the stuff in your hood that's relevant. But again, when agents get busy, it all falls away, and suddenly their social media goes dark. And then a dark social media is worse than no social media. So we're saying, you know, find yourself an automated service that can keep your social media alive with engaging content that can even generate leads while you're busy working with buyers and sellers. So those are the two parts of this point. If you don't have a website, or the one you got really deserves to be retired, take care of that. Get a website, get a beautiful one. Exact Contact includes a gorgeous agent website. It's fully responsive, which means the site looks amazing on mobile phones, and it's included with the solution. Same with social media. We have an automated social media content posting service called SocialStream, and it's not meant to be your only source of content, because we don't write about your neighborhood, but it's meant to provide articles from tier 1 real estate and home and lifestyle magazines from across Canada and North America, and it's automatically posted to your Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter with branded landing pages and so on. Recommendation number 4. So you got your data uploaded and organized. You've set up some automated keep in touch processes. You've taken a look at your online presence to make sure you've got a website you're proud of, and you've got some automation like air cover helping you with your social media. So when you're too busy to get to it, there's still good content flowing through to your social media. Now, this is recommendation number 4. Actually, circling back to your database here. But it's not a software thing. This is really just an action recommendation. I think while we're stuck at home, if I was a realtor, one of the things that I would work on doing, spend a little time every day, put aside an hour, whatever, and just connect with everyone on your A-list. So, and I talked about this before, the whole A-list or B-list thing. So common A-list contacts includes your past clients, important referral sources, any current hot prospects. I mean, we're looking hot, but then COVID hit, you want to stay in touch with them, and any high quality long-term prospects. That to me is kind of your A-list. And if you think, well, how do I connect? Well, there's many ways. Never hurts to pick up the phone and just call and say hello. You can send them a text message, send them an email. Keep in touch with social media like we just talked about. Shock them, write a letter. It'll be the only letter they pick up from their mailbox that week. And of course, you can always send a handwritten note. What would you talk about? I don't know. How about express gratitude, or just say hello, or talk about how much you value your relationship with them. Handwritten notes, by the way, are another thing that Buffini loves. So again, if any of you, like the Brian Buffini way of doing business, he loves handwritten notes. But I think even all the other trainers, Mike Ferry, Richard Robbins, Tom Ferry,
Akbar Zara.
Yeah, Akbar Zara. So, and the problem with handwritten notes, because I do them, I practice what I preach, all these things actually, is that they take time. But that's the one thing you've got right now. So do a bunch of handwritten notes. And then in terms of, what do you talk about? This could be a whole webinar on its own. I'm just going to kind of go very high level here. It could be anything from a simple make a phone call to a past client, maybe it fell off your radar for a bit, and you just say, hi Akbar, it's Rich, was thinking about you, and I just thought I'd give you a call to say hello. I don't know how, it's suddenly been a year, I don't know how that happened, I feel bad. How are you making out? How's the wife and kids? How are you holding up with COVID? So even that is appreciated, right? Or you can go a little deeper if it's like a letter or email. Maybe you want to provide some information on how COVID is impacting the real estate market in Toronto or in Brampton or in Hamilton. You could give them advice on how to best proceed. So what I need to realize is there are still transactions that are happening. I was looking at some American data. It's quite incredible. In big parts of America, transactions have really not fallen that much. I think like good Canadians, we're following the rules better about staying at home and stuff. But, you know, it is still possible using virtual tours and so on, and limited, you know, the open house is dead, but a home tour is not dead. That's a realtor with a couple. You make sure the owner's out, you come in, you know. But what I have seen change, by the way, is used to be you toured a bunch of homes and then you made offers. And what I've been hearing is now people will do the home exploration online. They get to the point where they're down to the home they want to buy. And it's at that point, or maybe even they put in a conditional offer, but the condition now is, this is a firm offer conditional on I get to go to visit the home. So I've gone all this way without actually being in the home, but now I need to see it. So people are only opening up their homes much more selectively because in this particular extreme case, I'm only opening my home because you've actually given me a conditional offer. So anyway, I'm not telling you how it's working for you or in your neighborhood. These are things I'm hearing. But the point is, for people who do want to who need to sell a home or buy a home, you know, you should be presenting yourself as the expert on how to do this properly and safely in the COVID era. And then lastly, work on yourself. This is my last recommendation. And this applies to all of us. You know, when I say work on yourself, what am I getting at? I'm talking about your attitude, your relationships. You know, our relationships determine a lot of how we perform in life, right? So it's a great opportunity to spend some time with the people maybe typically you can't. In my own extended family, I'm seeing more of my mother-in-law and cousins. I'm seeing more of them during COVID than I ever saw them pre-COVID. Even my best friends who live in different cities, I would go sometimes months and not talk to my best buddies. Now, we Zoom every Saturday night at 6 o'clock. We're running out of things to talk about. We're seeing so much of each other. Anyway, so work on your attitude, your relationships, your skills. You know, Covey wrote a book years ago called The 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. And one of them was sharpen the saw, which means continuously work on your skills. But for many of us, we're so busy working on in the business that we don't have time to work on our skills. And this is a great time. And then lastly, work on your physical and mental health. So, you know, the bottom line is a happy person with a positive attitude attracts a lot more business than an unhappy complainer. That's not just true in real estate. That's true in every business and in life, right? So kind of, you know, think of yourself right now as an athlete, you know, who's training to be in peak readiness when the season opens. You don't have to be, you know, Mitch Marner with the Leafs, but you know he's working his butt off. He's training. He's working on his skills. His stick handling is, right? So think of yourself the same way, right? So practice your skills. Practice your scripts. Take some training. Get coaching. Reach out to Akbar. He'll give you some coaching. I just set you up, Akbar. But more than that, you know, look at your diet. When you're on the road, it's easy to just hit McDonald's and Harvey's way too often, and it's easy to skip exercise. So eat better, get exercise, visualize success. This is there's a whole psychology of, or there's a whole, again, another whole webinar on the psychology of success. But one of the key things that any a high performance coach will teach you about is called visualizing success, which literally means spend some time each day. This isn't meditation. This isn't, you know, yoga meditation. It's a specific exercise where you see yourself, you see the phone ringing, you see yourself meeting with clients, you see yourself giving phenomenal listing presentations. You see the smile on their face as you see them saying, you know, John, that was amazing. This is the best real presentation I've seen. You've got our listing. How quickly can we move forward? Professional athletes do this all the time. They visualize the event they're about to participate in, whether it's a ski racer skiing down a course, or a golfer, a hockey player, and they see themselves in their mind performing at a high level. That's called visualizing success, right? Do all these things and you'll be ready to literally rock and roll when the business surges back. So those are my 5 tips for today, Akbar. And I'm sorry if I sort of didn't stop there, but I wanted to make sure I got through it. And then
I love it. You've done an amazing job. Amazing job. And here's the funniest thing. For people that they are watching this, for everybody that watching, honestly, I did not see these slides at all. Like I'm talking about Rich's slides. He did not share it between in advance at all. This is the first time on the screen, just like you, I'm seeing it. Now, if you look at the rest of the presentation of this webinar, everything that I'm talking about, it falls into all these items. This is funny how that's all. I'm serious. I'm going to go on to my power presentation, Reg, and you can see it. All those items that are listed there, it's falling to all these things that you just shared it. It just tells you how we think and what's important really, and how people, they become successful if they follow these guidelines, basically. That's proven. It's nothing, something that we're guessing it. These are proven item, proven techniques that we are using, successful people are using, and they are doing awesome out there, and they finding the buyers and sellers. So thank you, Rich, for sharing this. We have a quick question. So at the end of this, we have an offer to basically share with you, as if you want to get exact contact, what we are offering today. So there is the slide up there. So thank you, Rich, putting it up there. So if you are not with Kingsway agent, here's the link where you go. Write it down. We're going to keep that screen. Write it down. exact.com/best CRM, best GTA CRM.
Yeah, it's hard to read, but it's meant to be best GTA Greater Toronto Area CRM.
CRM.
Exactcontact.com, best GTA CRM. If you're not with Kingsway, if any of the participants on this call are part of Kingsway Real Estate, then you just need to talk to Akbar.
We have our corporate account with them, so you don't need to go through this. You just contact me and say I'm going to go over some stuff with you. I know Rich is busy, and he has actually another webinar coming up that he has to be prepared for it. But in the meantime, Rich, by all means, stick around. So if you want to, there's one question there's a question here, a few questions. So one question here from Christopher. Christopher asking, can you text or call within the exact contact, like some other CRMs that they do have that feature? Can they call from the CRM, from exact?
No, you cannot call from the CRM. You can text. We have, you can do text marketing. So you can text individuals from within the system, or you can send a mass text to 300 people. But there's no calling from within the system. You still dial the person on your phone. In our mobile app, so I didn't mention this. We have a mobile app for iPhones and Android. In the mobile app, it is tap to call, but not within the desktop version of the CRM.
So that's your answer, Christopher. We got a question. Why is it a good time for agent to work on their CRM now? So you covered already that. What else how many more movies you're going to watch, really, right? So it's the best thing. Now, some people, they see me at the background there. Actually, I'm in Hawaii right now. I'm broadcasting this in Hawaii. So I'm just kidding you. I'm in my office, so I tricked you. So I'm not in Hawaii. So why do I need my own agent website? You almost covered that too, didn't you?
I think I covered that,
so, yeah. So how does using CRM actually contributes to success in real estate?
So that's an interesting question. I think the how is sort of pretty clear. The CRM helps you to be better organized, helps you to manage your time better, helps you to keep in touch with people, so you stay top of money, you get those referrals and repeat transactions. CRM helps you to, it's not a lead gen system, but you need a CRM to help you to keep it, to nurture those leads and convert them. And a good CRM like ours also helps you with your online presence, your website and your social media. I think the other question I sometimes get is, is there any real proof that agents that use a CRM are, more effective than those that don't? And there actually was a very interesting study. Actually, there's all sorts of data, but I'm going to highlight one. There's an online community of realtors that's global, although I think it's most popular in the States. It's called Active Rain. Anybody can join. And they have about 400,000 realtors that are members of Active Rain. And they did a survey of their entire membership. It was the biggest survey they ever did. They were trying to understand what differentiate, it was called the rich agent, poor agent survey. And they're trying to understand what differentiated the rich agents, which I think they defined as agents that make more than $100,000 year in and year out, from the poor ones, which typically on an average year, make less than $40,000, something like that. And they looked at everything. What kind of marketing do you do? Do you have an assistant? What kind of car do you drive? and of course, all sorts of software questions, right? The number one differentiator between the rich ones and the poor ones, statistically, biggest difference by far was that the rich ones used a CRM and the poor ones didn't. So that's sort of hard data. The other piece of data I mentioned earlier is that without a CRM, there's a really, really high probability you will fall out of touch with a past client. They will forget your name, and you will not get the repeat business and the referrals that you were otherwise entitled to. And without a CRM, there is no other real way to keep in touch. There's no proven system. Sticky notes on your laptop don't do it.
Doesn't work.
An Excel spreadsheet doesn't do it. So, and your phone doesn't do it. I don't care if you got 1,800 contacts in your phone. That doesn't mean you're keeping in touch with people. So that's typically the answer there.
Appreciate that. So is it fair to say that having a CRM, basically, it gives you a roadmap to your success? And I'm banking on the old saying that if you are not in their mind, their face all the time, not contacting them and so on, they forget you. You need to be on the client's mind all the time. That the minute that they hear real estate or they have a question about mortgage, about the market, about buying investment property, buying a property for their daughter, their son or brother, you've been in touch with these people 12 times a year through the email where Exact Contact is offering. And by the way, those emails, Rich touched on it, you don't have to do nothing. All you have to do is set it up on the keep in touch section, that how often, what days of the month you want the email to go them. They do it for you. And beautiful articles. And correct me if I'm wrong, Rich, there's like 3 different articles in that one email that goes out to a client. Am I right?
Yeah, no, you're correct. 3, and always fresh content. We never recycle. Each month is fresh content.
It can't get better than that. We told you touching the keyboard on your computer, the system sends them an email every month. In addition to that, as Rich mentioned, you call them on their birthday, anniversary, you set it up on your task that here's their birthday, such a date, pick up the phone and call them, say, happy birthday, Rich. You know, on the anniversary, how's it going, Rich? How are you happy with the house? Look, do you know really what the value of the home is that 5 years ago you bought it for $500K? Right now is 1.2. Just I wanted to let you know, just in case you want to cash or remortgage or take some equity from there and put on an investment, buy an investment property as a down payment, we could do that for you. Would you like to get together and talk about it? You know, you can make it, it can stay there, but since
Beautiful.
they build the equity, right, Rich, they can buy an investment property from you. So, and they appreciate it. They appreciate the call. They appreciate that, oh, can we do that? Of course, let me put you in touch with my mortgage broker. We can take a $200,000 from the equity that you built already in the last 5 years. So you can buy a condo for your daughter that's going to go to university in Montreal or Toronto or whatever and stop paying rent for it. And next 4 years, you're going to build the equity on the condo too. Wow.
Right on.
Those are powerful, powerful. So right now we're offering basically no setup fee, right, Rich? There's no setup fee. People, they go through this link and they get 60 days free trial. So, and this is not just only a CRM, it also comes with a website. And the monthly fee basically is, what is it, Rich? Monthly fee?
Monthly fee is $39 per month if you want to go month by month.
And that's Canadian dollar? Is it Canadian?
Yeah, Canadian dollars. Okay. That's a good point. We are headquartered here in Toronto. So, and we're the only we are a leading real estate CRM for all of North America. We're the only one that's out of Canada. All the other leading real estate CRMs are American-based, and there's a lot of advantages in working with us. It's Canadian-based leadership. Our support team is right here in Toronto.
I love that. I love that. I got to interrupt you rudely. As I said, I've been dealing with a lot of CRMs. Some of the CRMs, you don't get the phone. All you have to do, what's your problem? Email it to us. 3 days later, you're lucky you get an email, and then they miss the question totally. Here, anytime you pick up the phone, somebody's on the other line to help you out. With the boarding, basically, onboarding. You call them, they do a one-on-one training. They take you through one-on-one training to show you how to use the system. You can't go wrong with that. Sorry, Rich, I had to say that because
no, I'm glad you did.
I went through pain all the time. How do I do this? Well, send us an email. Okay, here's the email. And then they answer you completely different thing. And I have my team actually here. Most of them are here right now online. They can hear it. Now, we've gone through a lot of headache and problems with our CRM just because of the customer service. I can attest to that. Sorry, I had to interrupt that.
No, I'm glad I'm glad you mentioned that. The unlimited phone support is a big deal. Some companies won't talk to you on the phone. And the other thing Akbar talked about is the what we call the concierge setup service, which is that one-on-one getting you up and running and seeing value. And that's kind of a unique thing as well. So, and the last thing about being a Canadian CRM, by the way, I wanted to mention, all the marketing content. So we write actually two versions. There's a Canadian version and an American version because things are spelled differently. Colors, spelled differently, neighborhood, and so on and so forth. And in active business, the nomenclature is different. They have escrow, and we don't use escrow. So we write all our marketing content two versions, but we write the Canadian version first, and then we write an American version. We are a Canadian first company. So, yeah, so that's another, I forget what you were asking me. Something about being based in Canada. There you go.
Okay, just two quick questions. So can you connect it to Mojo Dialer?
Good question. You know what? We're looking at it. It's not today. It's in the development plan. We've got, we're constantly looking to add integrations. And Mojo Dialer, it's funny, it doesn't come up a lot, but for certain people, it's really important. And, let me explain why. I'll just take 30 seconds. One of the reasons we haven't done it so far is that Exact Contact really is the best fit as a CRM for the agents. And in our research, this is like 90% of agents who are really most comfortable doing, marketing themselves, positioning themselves as an expert, networking with their sphere. They're kind of sphere oriented. They're always trying to grow their sphere, but they're not hardcore prospectors. Very few agents are good at making 50 cold calls a day, or good at spending a ton of money and getting a huge flow of inbound leads and being like a machine at lead follow-up and so on. So the CRMs that have Mojo Dialer tend to be for those agents that are they're making the 50 cold calls a day or 100 cold calls a day, or really, really good at converting raw leads, leads from strangers, the leads you buy online. And, but again, when we look at who buys Exact Contact, who uses it, it's the 90% of agents that actually are not that great. They're not, yeah, they're just not, it's not what they want to do. So, right. So Mojo Dialer has been bubbling, but it's never quite got to the top of the development plan.
Right. All right, there's two more questions quickly. I want to run through this quickly. Is there extra charge for concierge service? Already Rich answered that there is no extra charge for concierge services, right? You already answered that. Yeah. Yep. So the last question is that, is there a way to advertise a property through Exact Contact where we create a link and send it to prospect, and they want to view the property, they have to register their full info. So let me just read this through again. So if you sending it to a prospect, you already have the prospect's full info. You got their email. Otherwise, how would you send it to them? I'm a little bit confused on that question. But is there a way that, say, an MLS listing that I just put it on the market, Rich, I want to send that to one of my prospect buyers? Is there a link that I can create and send it through email to them?
Yeah, I mean, if you add, say, IDX to your agent website, that's what pulls your MLS listings in. People who are interested in a listing can, sign up to get listing alerts, so on. If it's more, you want to send, let's say, like an email to people. Say, I got this great new listing. Within the system, we have just listed e-flyer and e-card templates. Basically, they're both electronic. An e-card is a little smaller format. E-flyer is more like a longer document. And you can use our e-flyer and e-card templates to highlight any listing. So that you can send that mass email to whoever you want to, hundreds of people. And then one of the cool things, by the way, with Exact Contact, because we have built-in email campaign reporting, after you've sent a mass email, and I think like a just listed flyer, just listed e-flyer is a perfect example. You can go into Exact Contact the next day, go to the campaign reporting tab, and you can see not just the statistic, like, oh, this was opened by 28% of people and 1.5% of people clicked on the call to action hyperlink, but you can see who, the names of the people, and how many times they opened it. So maybe you sent it to 500 people, 150 opened it, but of that 150, there was a 20 people who looked like they opened it a bunch of times. So that's a sign of interest. They keep coming back to it, or they're forwarding it to others. Or they opened it and they read to the bottom where you had a link that said, click here to learn more about this beautiful home, which would have taken them to the listing on your website. Wouldn't you love to know who clicked on that hyperlink? So campaign reporting turns something like an e-flyer, a just listed e-flyer, into a source of potentially high quality hot leads. Even though the person hasn't reached out to you yet, you can reach out to them.
Yeah, I would suggest, Rich, there are a lot of questions about how-tos. The purpose of this webinar was to just introduce you to the Exact Contact. But what I would suggest, if I may, there's a link there. There is no payment, so you're not going to get charged. You sign up for 2 months free trial, and that's why we have it there. They get you to onboarding, and they all do the training. And if there's any questions and so on, you can ask the trainer basically to help you out with the questions that you may run into and how to do those things. I'm sure you'll be happy. I'm sure you'll be satisfied. I'm not saying that the Exact Contact is 100% perfect. There's always room for improvement. No one can say their product is perfect, no matter what it is, what product it is, CRM, card, service, broker, it doesn't matter. So there's always room for improvement, and they are right on the ball. They're always improving. They're always growing. So we are here to grow with them and grow your business, basically. Christopher, asking again, can you do a virtual open house using Exact Contact? The virtual
no, we don't have a virtual open house feature in our system.
Yeah. So there are, as I said, there are little things I hear there. The whole purpose of this is a couple of things. Number one is to get you right now where you are sitting to get to do some things. And that something is to build your foundation. What's the foundation? Is your CRM system. CRM system is everything that you need to grow your business. If you don't have a CRM, I'm afraid you're not going to have a business. That's what I believe. After 32 years, this is my strong belief. The foundation of your business is your CRM, a strong CRM that you can utilize it on a daily basis to use it. That's, if nothing you take from this webinar, take that. So as I said, I got another 15, 20 minutes that I need to finish the other stuff. There's a few more questions coming in. So I'll refer them, as I said, to later. They can talk to one of the customer service that they can take it, Rich. Anything else you wanted to add? As I say, if you want to stick around or.
Nope. No, I have nothing else to add. I really appreciate this opportunity, Akbar. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to speak to the folks in your personal network. I've enjoyed it very much.
Thank you.
I hope some of the information and advice I've shared with you you found helpful. And I'm going to have to jump off at this point, Akbar.
Yes.
But any questions, feel free to send them to me afterwards, and I will get back to you with answers on each and every question for everybody on the line. So
appreciate it.
All the best, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Akbar.
So
take it easy, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
Thank you very much. Bye. So what we are going to do now, we are going to start a. Can everybody see my screen? Type in if you can see my screen or not. Lost you guys. Hopefully not. Everybody there? I think oh, there we are. So Let me share my screen with you. That is our PowerPoint presentation right here. So give me one quick second and I start with you right there. So there is five real estate tips that I wanted to share with you as Richard touched on it, but we're going further than what it was. Number one is what is the customer CRM? Basically, I'm not going to spend too much time on it. It's the customer relationship management, where you put your clients there and you keep in touch with them. As you can see here, there's 87% failure in 5-year business agent that they did not have a CRM and they failed in business. So we talked about this again. I'm just running it through quickly because there are some good stuff that I want to get into it. So a reliable CRM is crucial for your organization to keep in touch with your client. And I want everybody to have that opportunity to sign up for the 60 days or 2 months, okay? Now, here we get into a little bit of nitty-gritties. So publish content on your blog or website. Join, like, for example, if you are living in the city of Toronto, Mississauga, Markham, doesn't matter where your community are and so on, log in and sign up with the city's website. I'm talking about city of Mississauga.ca or something like that. And there are a lot of that's happening in the city. On this exact contact, you have a section for blog or the content that you can put there. This is where it drives traffic to your website, and then people, they look at the houses and so on, and Richard was referring to them as an authority. So it makes you somebody that knows what's going on in the city, is on top of their game. So, and this is what would give you, just the website alone, it does not produce leads and does not make you authority. So you want to get something that the public's interest, that public can read, public can relate. What's happening in city of Mississauga, what's happening with the Score One developments and stuff like that, that people, they would love to read it. And it's free. You can take the link and put it on your site. Now, we're talking about the nurturing leads and how do this whole CRM work. CRM basically, as you all know, people and generating lead is one thing, and then converting is something else. So when you're generating the lead, somebody puts their hands up and said, I want to buy a property. It doesn't happen just overnight. If you're lucky, yes, you know, they look at a few property, and next week or 2 weeks later, you're writing the offer. That doesn't happen all the time with all the leads that you are getting. So what you need to nurture those leads to make sure that on a long term, 3 months, 6 months, 9, sometime 1 year, it takes for somebody to buy a property. So this CRM basically helps you to get there by keeping in contact with them, okay? So I have here, communicate quickly. This is so crucial. I cannot tell you how much this is important, how important this is. When you're getting a lead, don't leave it for, I'll call them later this afternoon, then tonight. Oh, it's 9 o'clock already. It's too late. I'm not going to call them. You got to call any lead that comes in, whether it be a text, email, phone call, website, whatever. You got to call them immediately. Immediately. If you want to be successful in this business, you got to call them immediately. Now, those are a few of the items that I wanted to share with you. Then I have some 4 bonus tips that I want to give it to you. So stick around. Here it is: nurturing existing relationship, meaning your past clients, center of influence, and so on, and also building new ones. So anybody that comes on, signs up, or you pretty much you're getting the lead, put them there and start keeping in touch with them. This is the 4 extra bonus tips that I have for you because we are running out of time. I'm running really through this fast. So here it is, your motivation. So everybody said motivation. What is motivation? What is your motivation? Why are you doing what you're doing? So what is it that makes you jump out the bed first in the morning to be here? I was here this morning at 8 o'clock, believe me or not. Okay, so, and that boils down to your why. Why is that? Why Why are you doing that? Why do you want to make $1 million? Why do you want to make $500,000? Why are you doing what you're doing? And why do you want that? That's so important. If you don't have your why, you need to find your why and write it down. Whether it's 1 reason or 5 reasons or 10 reasons, that's your motivation, that you want to get up in the morning and kick ass and do whatever it takes to make that deal happen. So you need to find out what is your why, and that's so important. Number 2 is maintain a budget. People, we are running a real estate business. We're not employee of Kingsway, Remax, Royal LePage. Royal LePage, Kingsway, and so on, they don't care whether you make money or not. Doesn't matter, they're collecting their fees, right? But we are the one that's running our business. This is a business that needs a budget. You need to make sure that you have a budget in order to advertise, promote yourself, and so on. I have some great tips coming up in my next webinar that you are going to love it without spending too much money on what you can do that. Make sure you register for my upcoming webinar that I'm doing, that how to build a very strong, sustainable business of real estate. So you need a little budget, of course, as a business that you pretty much to grow your business. So as I mentioned, we're on a paycheck. So if you don't make a sale, you don't get paid. So what you need to have a stream of income coming on, paychecks coming, collecting 3, 4, 5 paycheck a month, commission check a month. You need to set up your business right. And I'm going to help you out. Free seminar coming up. Stay tuned. You'll get the email. Number 3, be consistent and hold yourself accountable. This is the biggest problem with our real estate business and industry. What is the problem? We are self-employed. Nobody can tell me what to do. I don't want to do what my brokers tell me. I don't want to do what, no. You got to, if you have that kind of discipline, then you have to stay consistent and keep yourself, hold yourself accountable, because you are the captain of your ship. You are the leader of your business. You are the CEO of your business. So if you don't have discipline, you are not disciplined enough to do it, then what is the next one? The next time is that you need to get a lead generating coach. What is that? So your business is lead generating. If you don't have a flow of business coming through funnel to generate leads for you, guess what? You won't have business. You need, bottom line, you need that all the leads, you need to create leads every single day. Every single day you need to create leads. Perhaps you're asking, how, Akbar? How am I going to do that? On my next seminar again, I will show you step by step, simple ways how you can generate lead with a small little budget. You don't need millions of dollars, thousands of dollars every month to do that. With your very little money, I can show you how you're going to do that. Okay? So now you got the lead. What's next? So next is pretty much converting those leads. So what I said to you earlier, you need to find a lead generating coach. I didn't say coach here as like a business coach. I said lead generating coach, just like myself, to show you step by step what I'm doing to generate daily lead flowing into my CRM. And you need to learn how to do that. And I'm going to show it to you on my next webinar that's coming up next week. Make sure 100% log on, make sure you are on that webinar. So second thing, find a real estate agent mentor. I didn't say coach again, a mentor. Somebody can mentor you. Somebody can hold you accountable, show you the steps. Let me share with you, my friends. There's so many of those gurus. They are on Instagram, Facebook, bombarding you through emails and so on. Come, I'll show you how to do generate leads and this and that. Awesome. But the biggest problem with the lead is that how do you convert it? None of them, they teach you how to convert it. All they want to say, give me $500, I'll show you how to generate lead. And you get some leads from Facebook or Instagram here, there. People, they put their name or phone number, maybe fake, maybe real. And then what? And then what? What do you do after? How do you convert those? Conversion is more important than generating the lead, in my opinion. So your conversion rate is important. What percentage of those leads you can convert? And that's what I will be showing you on my next seminar, that how do we do that, okay? Now, here we are on quick Q&A section. Let me go here. There was some question here. I want to take the questions. Here. Not yet. Yes. So it says those who already viewed the trial, they signed too. Yes. Okay. Some of the question pretty much that toward the leads and toward the coaching and stuff. Look, next week, 100% I'm doing a full 1 hour seminar, how to generate the lead, how to convert it, and what I'm going to do, how I'm going to help you to convert those leads to money, basically, to appointment, to a contract, whether it's a buyer sale, buyer lead, or seller lead. Step by step, I'll show it to you. I promise, make sure you don't miss next week's webinar. Now, I had a section here that for the sign up for the exact contact, that's the code. And also, if you are interested in coaching, just drop me an email at Akbar@Rogers so I can help you out with that. Awesome. So let me any other questions? And I wanted to thank you everybody for participating. Hawaii weather is really, really nice. And I'm looking forward to our next week training.